Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to our Sunday Coffee with Conti show. My name is Rick. I love sharing Corvette information, experiences, and just generate conversations. One thing we do on this channel, we get you guys thinking and talking about Corvette, and that's what we're going to do today. A couple of weeks ago, we did a video talking about the C9 Corvette. I asked you guys, what do you think that we need? What do you want to see in the next generation Corvette? Some folks said, Rick, it's probably too early to talk about that. No, it's not. We're into the 6th model year of C8 Corvette. Immediately in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, as good as this car is, and there's a small refresh coming for 2026, what's coming next for this car? What could we get next for the car? What do we need for the car? I want to hear from you guys, and we did. And the comments that we got in that video, we're going to share with you on today's show. Some great feedback, guys. Thanks for that. Again, as I said just the other day, no drama, no clickbait, just really intelligent conversation, real conversation, but being proactive about the next Corvette. We'll refer back to this video years down the road and see what we said, what we wanted, what we think it's going to be, and if we were right. And that's part of the fun of this Corvette, is trying to guess what they're going to do next. We've gotten so caught up into the camo cars and what's underneath the camo and what's next and what's next and what's next. I've reminded you several times, sometimes to slow down just a little bit. Let's enjoy what we have, and I certainly am in my 2023. But we're always curious what's next. Technology has taken us to heights that we've never thought possible. So what is next for the C9 Corvette? When I did that video with you guys a couple of weeks ago, I had no idea, off the top of my head anyways. One thing that I think that we need, and I would love for us to get, is a real cooled seat. When I did the training with General Motors in 2019, immediately I saw the blue. Let's see if I can access it right here. Okay, you see the blue right there? Now, traditionally, when you see blue on that, it means it's a cooled seat. Up until C8, that was more like, well, it's like this right here, this amber color, and it was just a vented seat. So I had asked them in training, I said, wow, and I notice every little thing, I told you guys. So when I saw the blue light, I said, does that mean that we actually have an air-conditioned cooled seat now? It's not just a vented seat. Nobody in December of 19 could answer that question for me. Lo and behold, we just got a blue light. We didn't actually get a cooled seat. So it's a vented seat. It's not an air-conditioned seat. That's why you feel a disparity in how that feels on your rear when you've got the car closed up as we do now, and you have air-conditioned air going through the compartment versus when you got the windows down or the top down. So a real cooled seat would be nice. From a customization standpoint, it's already confusing enough as it is to order this car, but I would love for us to see, because you talk about making it your own. How about a custom colored caliper palette? Why limit it to just a couple colors? Give us the full gamut, and anything that's available on the outside of the car, give it to us on the caliper color. Porsche does it. Don't they do that? They do. They have a hell of a lot more selection than we have for Corvette, and I just, you know, so many people do it after the fact, and it's so risky. You got to disconnect the battery. You know, just Chevy, give it to us off the shelf. I mean, you already got to paint it red or yellow, black, dark gray, orange maybe, blues limited. Color calipers, I think, would be a nice choice to have for the C9 Corvette. Another thing I've talked about for years, and I think somebody actually has that. We'll pull over here in a minute and read some of the comments that you guys shared a couple of weeks ago, and I love that feedback. Great job on that. I would love to see, as you can see, here's the camera that's on top of my car right now. If it's coming through this camera here, I'd love to have a rear-facing recording PDR camera. All that stuff's up in this housing right up in here, so you're close to actually integrating that because your PDR is up in here. So why not just, I'm not a technical guy, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but I'm just assuming because it's all right there that there's got to be a way, and this camera's there to, you know what I mean? You technical guys know exactly what I mean, so I would love to see that happen for our car as well. And one more thing, and I think you guys have the same feedback in regards to what we want, what we think we need for the C9 Corvette. Looking from a maintenance standpoint, you can there's easy access to the oil filter. Changing the oil is easy for folks that have the ability to do that at their home. But what about the DCT canister filter? You can't get to the darn thing because you have to basically un-PDI half the rear end of the car and it's risky based on where you have to jack the car. If you don't do that properly, then you have a risk of the car falling off the lift, and a lot of folks don't have the ability to do that. But it would be nice to access that without removing those panels and just, you know, pulling off that cap, putting on the new O-ring, putting in the DCT canister filter, going up through the side, adding a little bit of fluid that fell out, and save cost, labor, and time, and maintain that more, because that's a huge topic on our Tech Tuesdays about that DCT canister filter. And guys, I'm telling you, it really does make a difference in maintaining this car. If you've ever had it done and then you drive your car, immediately the car feels more responsive. To me, I describe it as it feels like the car's breathing better. It is, because of the clean new DCT canister filter. So for C9, give us an easier access to get to that darn thing and just make it a better ownership experience for us. And we're talking about that like, oh, is C9 still going to be mid-engine? Yeah, this is just the beginning. They said that in 2020. The mid-engine platform is our future. So yes, assuredly, that's going to continue in the C9 Corvette. Some of your comments on what you think we need and what you want for the C9 Corvette, whatever that may be, are coming up on today's Coffee with Conti. Now, if I can just find somewhere to pull over. You can see here, I'm in the middle of nowhere, man. But it's fun having these different views with you guys. Like I showed you guys, I am in the middle of nowhere, so I think, can I get on here? Okay, I'm going to go on to the on-ramp and sit on the side of the road and read some of these comments for you guys. And don't forget what we talked about last Sunday. It ends at the end of this month. You have an opportunity to win not one, but 2 Rapid Blue Corvettes and $50,000 in cash. In case you missed it, here's the information. This is it. It ends this month. It is the Corvette Dream Giveaway. You can win both of these cars, the 2024 Rapid Blue C8 Corvette and the oh my gosh, look at this thing, this 1963 Resto mod. I know it's got a 64 hood for you guys that know what that is, but it's a 63 Resto mod, beautifully done. Both cars have a bunch of performance upgrades. You can win both cars. You can win $50,000 in cash with it. All you have to do is click that link in the comments down below. Use Conti2 at checkout. It triples your entries. You buy 100 tickets, you'll get 300 tickets to win both this 2024 and this 1963 Resto mod and $50,000 in cash to help pay the taxes. This really is a Corvette Dream Giveaway. Win both cars, $50,000 in cash. Click the link in the comments down below. Here's the guy that won last year's Corvette Dream Giveaway. You have an opportunity to win these 2 cars and the cash. Click that link in the comments. Use Conti2 at checkout to triple your entries. Thanks for the support, guys. Remember, it ends this month. Really do appreciate the support, and I do wish you all good luck. All right, let's go. Today's Coffee with Conti, your great feedbacks and suggestions for the next generation Corvette, the C9 Corvette, whenever that may be. Many people said, as we'll share with you here in just a second, manual transmission. And a manual transmission Corvette, like we said, and Taj even mentioned it, and you're right, I don't think you have room for a third pedal down there in the foot box, but it wouldn't be about performance numbers. The DCT is just so smooth and so quick. It would really be about the experience and the participation of the car. But and folks our age, we understand that, we miss that, we love that. I don't see it happening, but it was a great suggestion. Who knows, maybe in a limited capacity they would do that, but think about all the R&D and the money it would cost to make that happen. So you know, it would complicate things as far as, you know, trying to make as many cars as they can. You know, we already talk about how the production line slows up when you build convertibles, wide body cars, Z06, E-Ray, cars with front lift, all that stuff slows down the line. You've seen it in the 2024 production numbers. We'll talk about that in another video. So some great comments on today's Coffee with Conti. What do you want? What do you think we need for the C9 Corvette, our next generation Corvette, now that we're into the mid-engine era? Here's a comment that says we need a revised rear end on the C9. Otherwise, keep it the same. Like I said, this is a beautiful car as it is right now. It's hard to say what we need to change. There's going to be minor tweaks maybe, but you knocked it out of the park, Chevy, with this car. Thank you so much. A lot of comments said this: the C9 needs to be a lot lighter. I would like to see it 200 to 300 pounds lighter for sure. And here's a comment on that video from a couple of weeks ago asking for your feedback, what we need and what you want for the C9 Corvette. Hey, Rick, another fun one today. Here's my thoughts on the C9 Corvette. I love my C8, but this is the short list. Maybe an easier, we just talked about this, an easier way to drain and fill the transmission fluid, a few more storage type pockets in the cabin. We just talked about this too, a dash cam system that goes all the way around the car when parked, front, sides, rear, integrated with the PDR. And give us a choice of tires in the ordering system. I understand you kind of have that now. The problem is we get folks that order Z51 for the performance of the Z51, but they want to order it with all-season tires. The non-Z51, for the first time ever in Corvette, you can order all-season tires, but it's a different model. But you got to remember, from a marketing standpoint and engineering standpoint, they're going to put the tire on the car for the way it was designed to handle the capabilities of that particular car, hence Z51. So they're not going to put an all-season tire on it because it's going to compromise its capabilities, but it's still a good suggestion. Another comment says, Rick, I also bought my first Vette, and it's a C8 hardtop convertible. Medical issues have my wife and I feeling life is short. The new C9 should let you shift into neutral, oh, I like this, without starting the car. Thanks for all the input and the great tech info. Here's one, my suggestions for the C9 Corvette: standard intercooler radiator protection, an overall lighter car, less fussy rear end design, an available option for carbon flash painted front splitter and side skirts on the Stingray, and more aggressive wheel offsets. And actually, I had a couple of people make the same comment here: deck lid mounted spoiler or wing to make the trunk access a little bit easier. And our next comment in regards to what you guys want, what you think we need for the C9 Corvette, whenever it may be, he says, the only things I can think of for the C9 are better color selections and active aero and performance trims. If they added those two things, it'd be perfect. And more feedback on the C9 Corvette comes from Johnny, Ohio. Look at it, he has 12 things here. More unique, I agree, more unique supercar colors, tire options, we just talked about that. Restyled taillights, just talked about that too. Also talked about active aero. You guys are all thinking the same thing, and I know Chevy's watching this. They've got the, let's face it, they probably have the car done, but is it completely done? I bet this feedback that we're providing in today's video, I think it'll make an impact on our future Corvette. So thanks again for participating in that, everybody. So yes, active aero, a complete ban on dealer markup over MSRP, a less pointy nose, make it more rounded. Restyled steering wheel. Actually, love the new steering wheel. He says, I love the current shape too, but do better with the buttons. Okay. And number 8 suggestion for the C9 Corvette comes from this gentleman. It says, move the start button to the great wall of buttons. I'm sorry, that's actually coming down to 26. And make it a showpiece. Think of Lambo. Okay, that's a nice suggestion. I see where he's going with that. Number 10 suggestion, super premium exhaust option for the Z06 Corvette. Stitching color options, I agree. We've got the gray standard. We've got red, yellow, and blue. A couple of more would be nice. Orange would be nice, yes. What the heck is this one? A Rick Conti special edition? You guys are awesome. Wow, thank you for that. I really, and I had said in the video last week some of my lifetime goals in representing this car. One, and I'll just say it again, I want to be inducted, while I'm alive, I want to be inducted into the National Corvette Museum Hall of Fame. I'd love to be the Indy 500 pace car driver in a Corvette. And there's some other things that we'll talk about another time. But thanks, you guys, for the incredible compliment. That is incredible. More feedback from you today on Coffee with Conti. What do you want to see? What do you think we need for the C9 Corvette? Oh, I like this one. Don't make the car available until you can build it how we want it with no constraints. Oh, thank you. Yes. Freaking A, man, do I agree with you 100%. And it's so hard because of the, the testing stage, and they're doing all the validations. They're driving with all the options because they need to get those aerodynamic test numbers. I get that. And they go to events and you see that and you're like, wow, that looks good. Hey, Rick, I just was at the bash and I want to order that. I have to be the guy that says, I'm sorry, that's not available. They're like, well, what the hell are you talking about? I just saw it. The GM guy's driving it and they have it. How come I can't get it? And I've seen that, and I see all these camel cars, and dude, great. That's the best comment of all. No constraints. Oh, as you can tell from my outburst, it's frustrating for me to do my job because of these constraints, and it's even more frustrating for you guys because you can't buy the car that you want. So, agreed, 100%. No constraints. Get rid of this crap. Here's another one. Restyled headlights and taillights, 20 more horsepower to the base C8, and listen to this, move the start button to the steering wheel. You guys are liking the exotic feel that C8 is, and that would be more exotic by doing that on the steering wheel. How about that? Great feedback on today's show. Thank you so much. Rick, I suggest GM brings back the chrome wheels so people like me don't have to go out and have their wheels chromed from an aftermarket different source. Agreed. Thank you. Yeah, what happened to the chrome wheels? Love the chrome wheels. The chrome wheels, toot toot. The chrome wheels that I have on my car right now, gorgeous Vossens that I got from Motorsports LA. Use Conti at checkout. You save a couple $100, so that's a shameless plug, but well deserved because these wheels, I get more compliments on the chrome wheels than I did the black wheels. Okay, so I'm in. Okay, I got to speed this up. I got a lot more to share with you guys. Rick, my C9 wish list would be smaller, lighter, same power to weight, manual transmission, option for both the base and Z06. I would like to see more curves like the C5 kind of revisited. Interesting. I do love the C5 Corvette. Oh, I like this one, Dave, and I agree with you, buddy. I've smoked brakes in the standard car and the Z51 car. He says, Rick, I would like to see better standard brakes. How about Z51 brakes, standard for all models? Dude, I smoked those brakes too. Maybe it's my driving style, but I agree. I think we need brake options. I wish there were ceramic brakes available for the Stingray, and you didn't have to go into E-Ray and Z06 to get them, because I would have gotten them. And they make all the difference in the world to me, those ceramic brakes. I just love those darn things. Remember, you can't go fast without good brakes. Here's a comment that's kind of like the one we just read 2 comments ago. He says, C9 Corvette, instead of a Ferrari look, should go toward more rounded look like it used to be, to have somewhat of a Porsche-like look. Hi, Rick. I would love to see more bold, yes, I would love to see more bold, exotic colors to choose from, a chrome wheel option, and Super Cruise. I don't know about the Super Cruise. I like the participation in the driving. I think you become disconnected with the Super Cruise, but I get where you're going with that. It is kind of nice for those of you that actually have used it. Rick, the C9 Corvette should have these standard features: front lift, adjustable suspension, front grille guards, agree with you on that. This one again, easy oil drain and filter change, get rid of the wall of switches, that's coming next year, put passenger left armrest, and as a personal favorite, please bring back Night Race Blue. That was a beautiful color. I'd like to see, what color I'd like to see come back is Supersonic Blue. You guys remember that in C6, 2012, 13? Man, and it changed up just a little bit, but boy, it showed off the body lines of the car, and it's still one of my favorites of all. Supersonic Blue, bring that back, please. Heck yeah. Here's one that says, Rick, give us a better quality phone system. The current one is not as good as the C7 system when the top is down. Callers on the other end are complaining about too much wind noise. I've never heard that in my C7 convertible. Rick, we need more trunk space and chrome wheels. Get rid of the wall of switches between the seats. Make a grab handle for the passenger. Your wish, my friend, will be granted probably next year. Stay tuned. More great feedback on today's Coffee with Conti. We're talking about the next generation Corvette. Yes, the C9 Corvette. What do you want? What do you think that we need for this car? It's so good now, but how could we improve it? More comments from a couple of weeks ago video we're sharing with you on today's show. Rick, we need more horsepower on the C9. Maybe the LS model series. Pretty hard to make it a whole lot better. I'm sure there's a lot of people trying to figure it out. Thank you again, everybody, for the comments. I'm really enjoying sharing all this. Rick, we need a factory supercharged C9 with a hybrid front-wheel drive option for all trim levels. We also need the ability, oh, I like this. We also need the ability to lower and raise the side windows by way of the remote key fob. Finally, all cars should come with some type of front driving fog lights, similar to what you have on your Rapid Blue Corvette by Paragon Performance. Oh, that light bar? One of my, if not my all-time favorite accessory. And I got a ton of them on my car, especially from Paragon, but those driving lights, I love that. They are, keep in mind, we were talking in my accessory video, I think about a month and a half ago, Paragon has not been able to do it on a 24, 25. They've got it figured out. They're trying to get that all done in final production. Look for that coming available for your C8 Corvette 24 and going forward. Should be sometime January, February. We'll let you know as soon as they are officially available. Oh my gosh, we've got more comments for you guys. Today's Coffee with Conti is enjoyable for me to share your feedback. I love the engagement on this channel. I think we really are connected to each other. We're connected to this car. We're connected to this market, and your comments are evident of that. More ideas and what you want and what we need for the C9 Corvette when that comes to be after our current C8 Corvette. I'd like to see an option. Oh, I love this. I'd like to see an option for a real key, a real ignition switch with no remote control possible. Little old school. Yeah, give me a key, man. I agree. I like that. I really like that a lot. C9 needs to be smaller and lighter. A simpler version of the 5.5, putting out 550 horsepower would be perfect. Here's an interesting one that and they could do this right away. We don't have to wait for C9. Somebody contact GM, please, and get them to update their build and buy site ASAP. There's no sense in a person buying a car that costs this much having to deal with the disaster of their website in 2024. I spent half my time just trying to sign in to the damn thing. Sometimes they would send a code, sometimes they wouldn't. There's no box to put it in, and I don't know how to do it. The colors on the cars are way off to what they actually are, and it's just way too slow of a site. Great feedback. I appreciate that. Make the seats a little wider. It's too tight for some of us large guys. You know, they did that in 2012 and 13 in the C6. That butt part of the seat where you sit was wider, and then it became narrower in 2014 for the C7 car. So I think that's a great suggestion. Here's one, not to cut off the V8 to V4 for fuel mileage. Most of us buying this car aren't worried about fuel mileage. I'm concerned with my transmission messing up. Okay, great suggestion. Here's another one. C9 needs to be lighter, improved fit and finish, and better aero. Here's more feedback about a future Corvette. If they build a Corvette badged SUV, it will be a huge seller, I promise. I agree with you. I think that's going to be a win. Look at what Porsche has done with their SUVs, and it's still the two largest sellers for Porsche. I would roll over to a Corvette SUV for sure. Another comment, gentleman's asking for hydraulic steering, said it would improve this car greatly. What do you guys think about that one? And just a couple of more, and we're going to wrap up today's Coffee with Conti. Here's another one for manual transmission for me. I love my C7 Grand Sport manual transmission. I know that's a desire, but I think when you're looking at the masses and the volumes that they want to do in this car, guys, I don't think that we're going to see a manual transmission in C8, let alone C9. And more comments that's kind of similar to the ones we talked about earlier. I would love to see the potential C9 Corvette show us a serious weight reduction over the C8. I agree with you on that one. And that's just some of the many comments that you guys have made. If you've got some new input, please put that down below. I gave you my feedback. I thought that they were well thought out things that we could use, would enhance the ownership experience for our Corvette, for that next generation Corvette, that C9 Corvette, whenever that may be. I know many people will come back to this video years down the road. So hi, how you doing? Do I still look the same? Anyways, when that comes out, everybody will be going, hey, what did we say? What did we say we wanted? Look, you'll make suggestions that maybe right now, because you're in the very early development stages of C9, that Chevy's watching, they may say, you know what? That was a good idea. We can integrate that. That's great feedback. Let's face it, they learn from us. They want to put stuff on the car that we want, because guess what? If they do, we're going to buy it. And you're going to say, Rick, that's probably the smartest thing. It's all about business. That is the smartest thing I said all day. Thanks for joining us on today's, this is cold, but thanks for joining us on today's Coffee with Conti. I enjoy the conversations with you guys, getting out in the car and talking with you. We've got so much great content coming for you guys. I am now into officially started on Thursday, I'm into my 30th year selling this car exclusively. I didn't go into the car business to just sell a bunch of cars and some Corvettes. I came into the car business and I was going to stay in the, and I did stay in the car. Here I am 30 years later. I said I'm going to stay in the car business to sell and focus on Corvette only. So 99.9% of what I do is Corvette. It always has been. It always will be. I thought that this car needed that kind of focus. I wanted to give it that kind of focus. It makes it more enjoyable for me. And here I made a career out of something that really was supposed to be kind of a tweener job in between stuff going on in my life. We're going to talk about that as I celebrate my 30 years with you guys, and it's because of you guys that I am here 30 years later. I'm trying to get together and have the interview with the guy. Give credit where credit is due. I am very creative. I come up with a lot of great ideas, but the guy that gave me my nickname, Rick Corvette Conti, is my old sales manager, became a friend. We're getting ready to do an interview and just tell some old car stories. And when that all came to be, when I'm coming back on the plane from Durrell Country Club in Miami for the C5 reveal, I was just so, I've always been energetic about this car. You guys see that. It's for real. It's not all show. It is from the heart, from the gut. But he was amazed by that. And he stopped by to see me about 6 months ago. And I said, hey, we got to do this video for my 30th anniversary. And he goes, I would love to go on camera and have a conversation. But he goes, I can't believe, he goes, but actually I can. 30 years later, you're still as pumped up and excited about this car as you were back in 1996 when the 97 car was coming out. And it's a great feeling, and it's been a great car. It's very important to our lives. It's a car that I really dreamt about. And now, ever since I've gotten I waited 26 years once I got in the business to get my first car, in case you didn't know that. And once I got my first car, for me, it wasn't like my focus changed. It's always been on you, the market, and selling the car. But a lot of things did change for me. I feel more connected, and I don't want to get too far into that, but I just want to thank you guys for that. So support this channel. Don't miss that video. It's coming sometime this month. Thumbs up this video. Make comments down below. I love hearing from you, and so do the other viewers. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us on Coffee with Conti.